So there was a little bit of a dust up when Cam Higbee and the rest of the Fearless Tour showed up to Tennessee State University, an historically black college, to have a Charlie Kirk and Stephen Crowder type conversation. I think there's blame on both sides here. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Cam Higbee and the rest of the Fearless Tour showing up to Tennessee State University, TSU, in Nashville, which is an HBCU, a black college, in the same way that Stephen Crowder would back in the day, setting up a table. Hey, change my mind. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. In the same way that Charlie Kirk would as well. May he rest in peace. Now, let me just give you a visual of how they showed up so you're able to understand what's going on, okay? You see their signs right here. You see their table, like a little regular normie Walmart folding table. You see their camera right there, microphones, MAGA hats, of course. You got to have the MAGA hats. And you see the signs. DEI should be illegal. And under that, they have their social media handles. See Cam Higbee right there, David, Fearless Debates, Lance Videos. And then it says, deport all illegals now, ! Let's talk. So this is what the students were confronted with out there at TSU. Now, there were some positive people. There was some good dialogue, but there were also some negative people and some not so good dialogue. And ultimately, there was no real problem. They were just escorted off campus. There was some hooting and hollering going on, but nobody was hurt. Thank God for that. Now, let's get to the video here. Let's get to some of the dialogue and also how the things fell apart. I will link to this in the description box. As always, if you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
So what part of our systems is for people of color?
All of it. The entire system is for everybody. Anybody who's an American citizen.
So you feel like there's nothing. So you feel like everybody is equal.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's equal in their rights, but not everybody's obviously equal in their, what they have. Like, I grew up in a double wide trailer. He grew up in Boca Raton. So, we didn't grow up equal. We're both white. I mean, he's a Jew, so that's probably why he grew up in Boca Raton. But, so we're not equal in what we possess as we start always, but we are equal in what we're allowed to do, our opportunity.
Can I ask you, do you think that there's any law that allows me to do something that you can't do, for example?
I don't think there's any laws that say that you can do something that I can't. But then again, this system can't be ignored. Like, we can't just say it does not exist because there are countless examples of it existing.
Maybe just one example of what you're talking about. So what's wrong with the system that allows, I guess, racism to be systemic or institutionalized?
I mean, I would argue the opposite. Like, again, we have civil rights acts on top of civil rights acts, in addition to the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. 14th Amendment being written for the sole purpose of expanding and equalizing the rights of white people and black people. And furthermore, the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause echoes exactly what, like, the Civil Rights Act says, right? You cannot be discriminated based on your inalienable characteristics like your race, your sex, your sexuality, etc.
So far, so good. I mean, having a conversation, ain't nobody hooting, hollering. It's respectful on both sides. So far, so good.
But even though we have these laws, that doesn't stop it from happening. We still know that.
You're right. Racism does happen still, even though there are laws that ban it. And I think that those laws are oftentimes used to enforce a culture of anti-racism in the United States. We actually cancel people for being racist all the time. But we have in the system, as far as the system goes, you can't stop people from being racist on an individual level, unfortunately. It happens in every country, on every continent, all around the world, and it has since the beginning of time. But what you can do is make it illegal to institutionalize it by saying, you can't allow you have to allow everybody to eat at your restaurant. You can't not admit people based on their color. You can't prioritize people based on their color, etc. And I would say getting rid of DEI works towards that objective.
I agree. It's like, if you don't want to have racism, then you can't operate in a racist way. You can't defeat racism with more racism. Either we have racism or we don't. So I agree with him on that point.
So y'all had say make America great again. How do y'all feel that America is not great, and how do y'all feel that America can be great again? And
That's a good question. Very good question.
when was it great?
Yeah, I would say that the most recent example of America being great was the first term of Donald Trump. And then we had 4 years of Joe Biden in chaos, and then Trump is president again. So this is his campaign hat for his, lead up to his second term.
Sorry for the noise. It just kind of fast forwarding a little bit. I'm not doing that. That's them doing that. And this is where things begin to fall apart, unfortunately.
Come on, really? Seriously? Yo.
Oh, you better not, boy! You better not!
Okay.
You better not!
Guys, we're literally just here to have civil discussions. Bring the sign back.
See, look, now, I don't want to keep playing this because you can kind of see where it's going. It's devolving. First, everything was all good. They're having a good conversation. Black guy, white guy, let's talk. But then some people don't want to have a civil conversation, and that's when things just fall apart. Okay, now, some are going to say it's because of race. I don't think so, because we just saw what happened to Charlie. Okay, that was not a race thing, obviously. Brandon Tatum had the same thing happen to him. He was at an event with a table, trying to talk, trying to have dialogue, and then Antifa just swarmed upon him and took all of his belongings. They just swarmed on him and took everything. So it was like some people on these campuses are not trying to hear you. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter nothing, especially if you're conservative. These young people, most of them are going to be liberal. So you as a conservative, especially if you showed up unannounced, which is what they did, it could be an issue. Now, again, luckily nobody was hurt. They were just escorted off campus. Now, here is a statement from TSU. Today, a group of individuals unaffiliated with Tennessee State University appeared on campus without prior notice in accordance with university policy. Any demonstration or protest activity requires advance approval and permitting. Campus police and staff responded promptly, and the individuals were escorted off the grounds without incident at all times. TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. I don't know about that part, TSU, because we just saw what was going on right there. I don't think taking the sign and doing the football run or running back straight up the A gap, I don't think that was very professional, but I digress. We continue. The safety and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff remain our highest priority. TSU will continue to uphold university policies and ensure that campus remains safe, welcoming, and orderly environment for all members of our community. Now, I'm going to side with them a little bit right here. You need to schedule things in advance to lower the risk of bad things happening, people acting a fool, the campus police being overtaxed. Because if you give them the proper notice, then they can get everything set up, get everybody ready, get everybody prepared, get the proper security in place so you don't have any unforeseen circumstances to arise. Now, some are going to say, well, how did that work for Charlie? Because Turning Point does that. Turning Point, they don't just show up. They organize everything. First of all, they have campus chapters, and through that chapter, they're going to organize events. Now, obviously, Charlie was taken away from us at an event that was well organized with a chapter, but that doesn't mean you don't do things to lower your risk. There's never going to be a total guarantee of safety, ever. That does not mean you don't do things to ensure or increase your safety. It's like driving on the road. Yes, accidents happen. That does not mean you go 120 miles an hour with no seatbelt on, with bald tires and bad brakes and bad transmission and everything else. You want to do the things to increase your safety, although there is no 100% guarantee of safety. Okay. Now, this right here is what I'm talking about. This is at Virginia Tech. Just to prove the whole race point, because I don't want that to be a thing. Oh, is they racist? No. This is Virginia Tech, which is not a black college. And this is people protesting Turning Point coming.
No justice, no peace.
you get the idea of what's going on. You got blacks and whites out there protesting. And you know what? I want to add one more piece as I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. I want to add one more piece about black colleges because I see some of that in the comments. Oh, it's racist to have a black college. Nah, it's not like that. As you saw in the video right there, it wasn't just black folks there. HBCU, what does that mean? Historically black college. That means it had to be black at one point because segregation. And a little bit of fun fact, without being too deep into the weeds, HBCUs were started after slavery in conjunction with the federal government because you have a bunch of unskilled and uneducated people who need education. That was us, the former slaves. So the HBCUs were created for us, a place for black folks to become educated. Now, of course, you have integration that comes during civil rights, 50s, 60s, whatever. Now we can go to wherever we want. That does not mean that college just closes and it goes away and it becomes some cornucopia of every race and religion. That's not how it works. Same thing for the PWIs, predominantly white institutions. It's the same exact thing. They were white before integration and they're pretty much still white right now. And it's okay. It does not mean that you have to be white to go there, nor does it mean you have to be black to go to HBCU, obviously. Okay. And you know, matter of fact, Virginia Tech, my granddad went to a black college at first, West Virginia State University. And funny enough, that's really majority white at this point. Historically black, but now majority white because of demographic changes in West Virginia. But he went to WVSU, then he went to Virginia Tech. He also went to Radford. All of that is right there because granddad came from Roanoke. Anyway, as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to everybody at TSU who was open to having civil discourse, having a dialogue in a true way. To those who didn't want to have it, I mean, hey, y'all just got to tighten up. It's not a race thing because we see all up. We saw it at Virginia Tech. We saw that. What happened to Charlie? Some people don't want to hear your message. And I understand the point of view of the guys that were there setting up a table. They're just kind of doing it. They're kind of going like guerrilla tactics. They're young. They're trying to get started. They're trying to be the next Charlie Kirk. They're trying to be the next Steven Crowder. So in order to do that, you might just want to set up a table with no permit and just start talking that way. That's kind of how you get yourself built up. But when you do stuff like that, you are increasing your risk level. And if you're cool with that, then hey, knock yourself out. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about the kerfuffle at TSU? You think it's a race thing? Think it's just young kids not really, understanding what it means to be conservative, feeling like they're being targeted? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. You're on college campuses. Okay, you go to college campuses, you're going to find people like that. Some that don't want to hear you, some that want to protest you. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, Puerto Rican, the candy stripe. You're also going to find some who want to talk, who want to have that dialogue with you. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.